night. What so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
And welcome in here to tonight's football matchup between the Erie Tigers and the number 2 Mead Mavericks. A rivalry game, an in-district game, and a game with a lot of implication on the line. Will the Tigers finish their non-conference season with above a 500 or below a 500 record? And either way, they've got a tough matchup on their hands tonight, Grayson. This Mead team, before the season started, Coach Cooper mentioned how good they were. A lot of other coaches around the league have talked about it. And this Mead side is a really good football team.
They are an excellent football team led by Nathan Bailey and Jake Wachter, running back. The pair through 4 games have rushed for over 400 yards each.
Well, there you go, 400 yards each. Tigers have their hands full. If you remember back a couple years ago on this field against the Mead Mavericks, the Tigers lost a heartbreaker. It was a Noah Roper fumble. It was a re-kick that was ultimately fumbled. A couple of those fumbles really bit Erie, but last year they went out to Mead. They took care of business on their way to an undefeated regular season. This year, though, we'll see. It'll be an exciting one. We'll take a quick timeout. When we come back, we'll go over a couple of our keys to the game, and we'll get you ready for kickoff here at Tiger Stadium.
You have a plan in place for your family's future in the event something happens to you. Are you caring for aging parents, grandparents, or a loved one with special needs? The Germany law firm named 2017 Erie's Chamber Business of the Year provides expert legal guidance and peace of mind for you and your family in the areas of probate, elder law, and estate planning. Visit Germany Law Firm's Erie Village office or website at coelderlaw.net to set up a personalized consultation.
And welcome back in, Erie Tiger Network. Brandon Bird, Grayson Blaylock here with you as the war of the light switches has already begun here in the press box. And, well, that's just the first of many battles tonight, Grayson. But this Tiger team, they will be without Andrew Piper tonight, who was shaken up last week against Canyon City. So kind of carrying the load for the Tigers, of course, is going to be Mason Vivi, but you're also going to see a lot of Caleb Thyssen.
Caleb Thyssen looked excellent last week against Canyon City. He actually has the highest average of yards per carry among all these Erie running backs and has looked explosive throughout this year.
The Tigers will receive the opening kickoff here. And see the players down on the sidelines. They are pumped and ready for this one to get going. The Tigers wearing their black tops with the black pants and the orange hats. Saw the JV team rocking the silver unis earlier today. I like those. Those are sharp looking. The varsity team rocking the all black here tonight. Tonight's game sponsor is Go Airheads, Airsoft Field and Store in Erie, Colorado. Gives teens and adults an exhilarating and unforgettable experience. Be sure to check them out online at goairheads.com. So here we go. Mead's going to set to kick this one off here, as this one will sail end over end, bounce, and it's taken by Kana up the sideline, makes a couple men miss, and pulls over the last defender, which was the kicker, down to the 34, and that's where the Tigers will start their first drive of the game.
And for Erie, a good kick return to start the game. I don't know if you had it in your keys to the game, but in mine were big plays by the defense and special teams. They'll need to be excellent tonight. And that kick return giving Erie great starting field position.
So the Tigers taking the field, led by senior quarterback Gavin Mendoza. Ball spot at the near hash. No clock today. We are working through some new technology here. And so we still don't have those graphics up. Brand new computer. Of course, it's not quite working like we like, as there's a first down run. So we'll say the time a lot of 11 yards for VV and a first down. Good start there for the Tigers.
And an excellent job blocking by the interior offensive line. Mead sent pressure. Erie's offensive line let it go past. VV found the hole and squirted ahead for 11 yards.
First and 10 now after the 11-yard pickup, 11:34. So just half a minute gone by here in this first quarter. Mendoza gets a snap. He'll run read option, keep it himself over the left side. Good hole for the Tigers. And that offensive line, good start for them. A couple big holes, and there's a 10-yard run by Gavin Mendoza.
And Erie playing with a little bit of tempo just between those first two plays. The line, they're playing motivated right now.
Sam Baker, the tackle on that side. Josh Bradford, the tight end, kind of leading the way on the left side of that offensive line for the Tigers. Now handoff, VV, right side, cuts back to his left, steps into the arms of a Mead tackler. And dragged down, by the way, that was Joey Stitwell. And a 3-yard carry for VV.
Now we've seen it on all three plays. Mead's lineman going too far up the field, overplaying the Erie run.
2nd and 7 here for the Tigers. 10:35 remaining. Ball spotted at the near hash with 4 wide here for Erie. Mendoza, hard count, now gets a snap, runs read, takes it himself, gets through an arm tackle, sneaks his way, just kind of slippery running there by Mendoza. And he'll pick up about 5 yards there, maybe 6, and is just a yard and a half shy of the first down.
That was an excellent read by Mendoza. He saw the defensive line coming. They sent an extra man off the right side, so he kept it himself, took it to the left. He had a blocker, made a man miss. Now Erie in a 3rd and short situation.
3rd and 2 for the Tigers. All black versus the all white uniforms of the Mavericks. Mendoza checks in with the sideline. He'll take it himself over the right side and tries to fight through an arm tackle. Good penetration from the Mavericks, and a good job by Gavin to at least lean forward for a yard, and that'll bring up 4th and 1 here for the Tigers. And it looks like they are going to run the Wildcat, and I believe they're going to go for it.
That is what it looks like. Andrew Piper, also the punter. This is the high school no man's land.
4th and 1. It's VV alone in the backfield. Vera is his H-back. Let's see if he follows him over the left side. He will. Good penetration, but VV uses that burst of speed and gets just past the marker. Pickup of a couple there for VV, and the Tigers have another first down, 9-11.
I already love Erie's scheme in these short situations. Instead of spreading it out, going through it, they're going with their jumbo sets and just pushing ahead with their offensive line. That's something we haven't seen from those much this year, but we have in the past, and it's worked in the past, and it's worked on this drive so far.
1st and 10 for the Tigers, 8:52 remaining here in the quarter. Tigers, good first drive so far. Kana in motion. Low snap, play action. Gavin's flush, has to step back to his left, and he is engulfed by a slew of white jerseys and a sack for the Mavericks, and that's going to be a loss of about 7 on the play for the Tigers.
And the pressure Mead's been getting up the field finally hurt Erie with the play action pass call. Mendoza had to step up into the rest of Mead's pass rush. He had nowhere to go.
Well, Dorian Havard has checked in the game for the Tigers. Grayson Schenbeck, the receiver on the near side. 2nd and 17 here for Erie. Pistol formation. Snap. Mendoza's looking for the bubble screen. It's off the hands of Havard and almost intercepted. Just a little high for Ladorian, and that ball just kind of hung in there for an eternity, and luckily for the Tigers, it was not picked off.
Was almost intercepted, though, by number 22 for Mead. That's Caleb Domenico.
Tigers now 3rd and 17. You wanted to gain a little chunk back. That's why they threw the bubble screen, just unable to execute. Now they've got 3rd and really long here. Mendoza in the shotgun. Pretty good visiting crowd from the Mead Mavericks side. Mendoza's just going to keep it on a quarterback draw and try and get a chunk of it back. He'll pick up about 4, maybe 5 yards before he's ridden to the turf. And that'll bring up 4th and real long for the Tigers.
4th and 13.
And it's one of those just areas of the field, Grayson. I mean, do you really punt it and potentially only gain 12 yards of field possession unless you can down it inside the 20, or do you just go for it and take a chance? We've seen the long field goal kick. If you could get it to the end zone, that's a touchback and maybe worth the gamble, but not sure Dadavio's got the leg.
This field goal would be from the 50s.
4th and 13. Mendoza to pass. He's going to step up, fires a bomb, has Schenbeck, and connects with him for a Tiger touchdown on 4th and 13. A 43-yard strike, or excuse me, a 37-yard strike to Schenbeck for a touchdown, and the Tigers are on the board.
That was one of the best play calls that we've seen all year from Erie, and the coverage for Mead. Schenbeck went on the fade route. The corner stayed in. Mendoza threw it over his head. Schenbeck was there, and Erie has the early lead.
So the Tigers, how about that? 4th and 13 convert the touchdown pass as Donavio out to kick the extra point. The snap is good, hold is good, and the kick squeezes right between the pipes. So first quarter, 7:03 remaining. Tigers 7, Mead nothing. We'll take a quick timeout.
You are watching the ETN.
Are you looking to buy or sell a new home? Jen McGurk, an experienced real estate agent serving Erie, Vista Ridge, and the surrounding Denver area. For years, Jen has assisted all types of buyers and sellers with their real estate needs. Give Jen a call today at 303-949-3331 or check out Jen Realty online at jenrealty.com.
If you ever wanted
Welcome back in, Erie Tiger Network. Tigers set to kick off after the touchdown strike on 4th down at 37 yards from Mendoza to Schenbeck as Dadavio will send this one high into the night, end over end, and field it at about the 5. A full head of steam here for the Mead returner, and he's got some room, makes a nice move. Ooh, that ball was hanging out there for just a second. You thought maybe a Tiger could punch that, but a solid return there by Jake Wachter. And Mead drive about to start in pretty good field position here at the Tiger, or at their own 39.
Wachter, you'll probably hear us say this a lot tonight. The fastest player for Mead, a track star.
And a low snap gets through the wickets, and jumping on it is Wachter way back there. And a huge loss on first down. A 10-yard loss for the Mavericks.
And I don't think Brady Veltine was ready for that snap. He moved as if he was going to say something to the right side of his own line, and the snap came.
Veltine in the shotgun. It's a shotgun with a wishbone look. Very interesting. There goes the snap, but I believe we're going to have an offsides on Bradford on the near side as he just got a little bit antsy there.
Mead in this flex bone almost offense. A lot of pre-snap motion. Bradford jumped at it there.
So that'll bring up a second and 15 here. Man, such an unusual formation for the Mavericks. Shotgun and wishbone. Never seen anything like it from Coach Klatt. Tigers coming, but it's a little jailbreak screen. Little middle screen there to the running back, and a decent pickup there to at least get some yardage back, and they'll bring up about a 3rd and 5.
Veltine backpedaling. You could read the screen right away from the press box as the O-lineman let several of the Tiger pass rushers through.
3rd and a long 5 here for the Mavericks. They started motion, now they'll reset here. Try to see what look Erie was going to give them. Veltine in the shotgun. We'll send it up man the other way. It's going to be a handoff. Good blocking initially, but the Tigers with excellent penetration and a great tackle there. Wachter is stopped for no gain. And a punt coming here from the Mavericks.
An excellent outside contain for Mead. Bradford burst up the field, then came back to finish the tackle. Couldn't quite tell who was on the right tackle, but forced him back into Wachter's way.
Yeah, that might have been David Grassi in there. And a fake punt here for Mead. They've got the first down yardage and just a hair more. They needed about 6. They got 8. And so the fake punt worked.
It is pretty early in the game to pull out a fake punt, but it does keep Mead's drive alive.
Well, Mead dug themselves out of a 10-yard loss on the snap. Now Mead setting up. And the official, I think, was pointing to a receiver there. At least from my looks, it looks like there's too many men on the line for the Mavericks. I don't know. Nope, they'll say he was just off. And the misdirection, still on his feet, is Bailey. And it looked like he was dead to rights at the line of scrimmage. And Ian Vera saying his knee was down, but Bailey will pick up 7 yards on first down.
And it did look like Colby Arlington. It did look like Colby Arlington had made the tackle, but Bailey just kept running. The official went with Bailey on that one.
2nd and 3. And once again, the Mavericks will look to the sideline. Low snap, handoff, left side, and bouncing it outside and up the sideline. A little bit of trouble seeing that number there for the Mavericks. It does look like Braden Keys on the carry that time. Pickup of about 6 yards there for Braden. It's always difficult when you're watching the Mavericks, all the misdirection. Sometimes you can't figure out who's got the ball. Now Veltine spins, takes it himself, and runs into a wall of black shirts before he is finally stopped after a gain of 3.
David Grossi, Colby Arlington, and there on the stop. Grossi chasing that play down from behind.
Tiger defense has been snake bit a little bit this year with running quarterbacks, an emphasis they placed last week and did masterfully. Now Veltine looks to the sideline. They keep motioning Bailey, and then they stop, see what the Tiger defense is going to do. Alignment key assignment football here for the Tigers. It'll be a pass here from Veltine, and oh man, just in and out of the hands of his intended target. Closing in quick was Kana, and that's the first Maverick pass of the game, and that'll fall incomplete.
An excellent read and great coverage from Will Kana there. Breaking up the pass. Wachter was the intended target.
So 3rd and 7 here for the Mavericks. Got to be probably about 4 down territory here with 2:38 left in the first quarter. Now 3 wide with 2 in that little flex formation. Good pressure here from Erie. Veltine's going to throw it away. Was he in the pocket? Coach Cooper asking for a intentional grounding. And hard to tell. He was kind of on the edge on that far side. And they'll say maybe there was a receiver in the area. Not sure. Either way, 4th and 7 here for the Mavericks on good penetration there by Bradford.
Mead trying for the longer pass, 2 passes in a row.
Veltine again, Tigers. See if they have to stop another pass here, and it's a little inside reverse, and Tigers diagnose, and they stop, and they get the turnover on downs. A pickup of about 3 there for Bailey, and that was it, and Tigers will take over with the lead here, and 2:23 remaining.
This first quarter has flown by. 2 drives in and 10 minutes in.
So 1st and 10. Tigers huddling over near the sideline, getting some last-minute directions. See Coach Cooper, Coach K in there. Coach Toof calling in the plays from the press box. I think Coach Higgins down on the field as well in that huddle. 2:23 as the Tigers take over for their second drive of the game. Play action, it's going to be a screen to the near side through the hands of Schenbeck and incomplete. Tigers' screen game just on the edges hasn't really gotten going this year.
It hasn't. They've tried to get it going. On this particular one, Schenbeck was starting to look upfield and had the ball go through his hands, didn't watch it all the way into his hands.
So 2nd and 10 for Erie. Vivi Bradford in the backfield here for this one, along with Mendoza in the pistol. He'll hand it off, Vivi right side, and a burst of speed there, but that hole closed up pretty quick, and Vivi went head over heels after he picked up 2, maybe 3 yards.
Good tackle from the Mead linebackers, chopping him down at the legs.
So 3rd and 7 here for the Tigers. Tigers taking their time here, getting the play in. Mendoza will bark out the play at the line. 1:43 left to go here in this first quarter. No one in the backfield besides Mendoza. He ran draw out of this last time. Mead showing blitz from the edge. Here comes the pressure. Mendoza trying to step away, and he gets sacked from behind. And good pressure from that backside applied for the Mavericks. Ultimately, on that sack, it was Corby Teku. And Erie fans, you might know that name, the sophomore. He's a heck of an athlete. And unfortunately, in the fall, it's not good when you hear his name. In the spring, it's real good. He's a lacrosse player for the Tigers as well.
You'll hear his name called often this spring with Erie lacrosse.
So 5-yard loss there from Mendoza. And here's the punt. And just not quite the same. You saw the really good leg from, beg your pardon, Andrew Piper. Aiden Otchinger, the punter now in place for Piper. Just kind of a low little spinner there, and Mead will take over. Erie defense has been up to the task, and you know, there was a little quiet confidence on the bus ride home with Coach Cooper approaching this game. And I know I mentioned this last week, but Erie, a couple losses early, but this coaching staff, one thing they're good at is identifying the mistakes, correcting them, and getting better. And, you know, Erie didn't really make a lot of mistakes last year, and in the playoffs, too late to correct those. A couple years ago, they made that run to the state championship. Big run up the left sideline, and finally spilling out of bounds is Bailey, but not before he gains 19 yards.
That's the double misdirection, almost a triple option, except Veltine doesn't keep it. Multiple men in motion from both sides. Bailey waits, gets the ball, and they run that often. They just broke it out for big yardage there.
Sweep play on the right, and diving was Wachter across the 40. And a decent pickup there on first down. Mead starting to find a little more rhythm here to start this drive. And that will be the end of the quarter. A quick first quarter. A quarter of only about 20 minutes. We're going to step aside. Tigers lead it 7-0 here on the Erie Tiger.
The Erie Tiger Network, the student media arm of Erie High School. Well, now you can. We have set up a Patreon page. There's a way for you to send us a monthly pledge in order to provide funding for the program, as well as get access to reward tiers. As a Tiger fan, you get the satisfaction in knowing you are helping out your favorite local media organization. As a member of the ETN fan club, you are officially recognized on air and can receive ETN goodies throughout the year. As an in-broadcast red sponsor, you get to sponsor a specific segment of any broadcast. For more information, email bird_brandon at sbbsd.org. This is a $25 per month commitment. As an appreciator of Erie's live broadcast with the weekly news, you can help support this program by becoming one of our patrons by going to bit.ly/ETN Patreon.
Welcome back in, Erie Tiger Network. As you see, they flipped the field. Mavericks into Erie territory all the way on the 39. And taking just a little bit here for the chains to get set as we start the second quarter of play. Veltine in the shotgun. Tigers really crowding the line. Another low snap, and good job by Wachter just to avoid guys diving at his legs, and he picks up just enough for the first down. 4 yards on that carry. Tell you what, we have seen several low snaps, including one bad one to start the game. I mean, that's just something to keep your eye on for the rest of this contest. Tiger defense a little late getting set up. Vera showed like he was trying to blitz through the A gap. Instead, he stops and backs up. And Mead will reset their play call here.
Erie's shown A gap pressure. That could be what's causing the low snaps.
A little sweep on the right side, and man, Bailey just churning, or Wachter, I beg your pardon, churning the legs and staying balanced there. And finally peeled down at the 20. A pickup there of, or they'll call it the 23. 12-yard pickup. Low snap again, mishandled by Veltine, and he'll just have to run it forward. Pretty good job. He was hit kind of at the line of scrimmage and continued to just kind of plow his way forward, picks up about 3.5 yards.
Velting on the bigger side for a lot of the quarterbacks, you'll see. That helped him to get a little bit of forward momentum, even though he was hit right away.
Mead just kind of churning through the rushing yards right now. Tigers readjust their defense. Tigers showing some pressure. It's a keeper for Velting. He's hit in the thighs and buried, but he'll pick up a couple.
And that was Jake Farling. And on the tackle, Farling doing a great job diagnosing, watching the ball. Saw that Velting kept it, hit him right above the knees, and brought him down.
Big third down here for the Tiger defense. Tigers a little late kind of getting set, but the Mavericks still running fake motion there to see what the Tigers are doing. Almost could have caught them off guard. Here comes the sweep, and oh, beautifully diagnosed by Colby Arlington. And a loss of 3.
Arlington followed Wachter. That was Wachter with the carry, but cut into the inside, and as Wachter began to turn upfield, Arlington was right there, swallowed him up for a loss of a few.
4th and 9. Colby Arlington, if you missed it, last week was his birthday, turned 18. We said he's literally a man playing among boys now. So 4th and 9 here for the Mavs. Velting scanning the field. It's going to be a pass play. Looks right, has a man on the slant, now throws it left and nowhere to go, and that is incomplete, and another turnover on downs for the Mavericks. And this Tiger defense has been up to the task so far.
Dylan Hall came running off the field, excited, chest bumped with Coach Martinez because he got to Velting and got his arm on his arm. You saw the throw wobble and spin in circles. That was because of Hall's hit, and Erie will force a turnover on downs for the second drive in a row.
Velting just didn't like his first read, had kind of a slant from the right side. Tigers linebackers dropping into coverage, went off of that, just overthrew it. 8:41 remaining here in this first half of play. Good start here for Erie against number 2 Mead at this home game. Next week will be homecoming for the Tigers. Hand off to Vivi, following some blockers, trying to be patient, and finally gets pinballed down to the turf. But he'll pick up about 3 yards there on a first down carry. Tigers only averaging under just a shade under 3 yards of carry so far. It was that 37-yard pass that got it done. But 2 really good first runs of 10 and 11, and they haven't had a run longer than 5 yards since. Mendoza and a little bit of a mistimed snap there. Not sure if that was, offside, I beg your pardon. Tigers will take that.
It was Trey Ward for Mead coming on the near side, maybe just out of your view with the angle you have.
I'm going to blame it on old age. So offsides. And a 5-yard penalty there for Mead makes it second and very short for the Tigers. Just need a couple here. Mendoza, hard count now, will keep it himself over the left side, puts the head down and rolls forward. Needed 2, picked up 3, and a first down for Erie.
Erie hasn't caused many pre-snap penalties offensively on defenses. Haven't gotten many free yards. They did right there, and it got him a first down.
Officially no turnovers so far in this one, but Mead has turned it over on downs twice, and I think if you ask Coach Mickens, he says that's pretty much as good as a turnover. 1st and 10 for the Tigers. 33, Mendoza claps the hands it off to Vivi, and he is met in the backfield and just used the legs to power his way for a couple yards.
We've seen all night Mead sending extra people off the edge that have gone upfield and haven't been able to make the play. they did get to Mason Vivi there.
Tigers have tried to use that edge pressure against Mead with bubble screens, but have not connected. See what they're able to finally connect on one of those. 2nd and 8. Mendoza looks to the sideline. Now 4 wide here in this formation. Mead a little more spread out. They might throw here. Mead not really respecting the pass here in this defensive alignment. Mendoza will run the draw, and he gets met from the near side. Pickup there of 3 for Gavin.
That was Trey Ward who made the tackle. A corner and receiver for Mead. Came on the blitz, was on the coverage for the inside receiver, and that receiver not able to get a block off on Ward.
That Ward name, Michael Ward, of course, an outstanding basketball player, now playing some college ball. Their dad is actually the Mead golf coach.
And we'll see Trey during basketball season as well.
6 minutes remaining here in this first half of play, and a timeout coming exactly with 5:52 left on a 3rd and 5 call. So Coach Cooper feels like this one's important. We'll catch our breath, take a quick break here on the ETN.
Here you go.
Thank you.
Thank you.
This is more than a bundle. It's more than a combo deal. It's not just stuff. This is your home, your car.
And welcome back in. 3rd and 5, big play here. Mendoza in the shotgun, looks, has all day, finally fires one high, caught as it was snared out of midair. A nice catch there by Dylan Hall, and then he fought his way forward for about 5-6 more yards. And a pickup there of about 11 or so from Mendoza to Hall. Man, that was an outstanding catch with the hands. And great protection.
Mendoza had all day to throw.
1st and 10 here for Erie. Erie will run one off late. Mendoza will keep. He's kept a lot so far this game, and a late flag coming in, kind of in the area of holding. Would have been about a 3.5-yard carry, and actually the near linesman says it's 4, but that's going to be wiped away by a penalty. And how about this for the Tigers? Penalty number 1 of the game. That's been a little bit of a struggle here so far. So good to see the Tigers not get their first flag till midway through the 2nd. So 1st and 10. Or excuse me, 1st and 20 after the penalty. Needed to use the Pythagorean theorem there to calculate that, Grayson. So 1st and 20. Mendoza in the shotgun. He's got Vivi next to him. Tigers really taking their time here. And the back judge was signaling that time was running out, and so another timeout. We'll stick right here. Our game sponsor here today is Go Airheads. Airsoft Field and Store in Erie brings children, teens, and adults an exhilarating, unforgettable experience and a unique battle zone. Play against your friends and friends to be. For more information, check out Airheads online at goairheads.com. So the Tigers, a 7-0 lead thanks to a 37-yard strike from Mendoza to Grayson Schenbeck on a 4th and long. And using a little bit of that Harry Potter wizardry to dial up that one. And ultimately, Tigers feeling good about themselves with a 7-0 lead.
Erie, I know a lot of people were worried about this game coming into it, but so far, they've looked pretty good.
1st and 20. Mendoza will hand it off. Vivi spins and gets pelted to the turf. No gain on that one for Vivi. Second and 10 here for the Tigers. One of our ETN own, Spencer Blaylock, has gone down. Miss Molly telling Grayson in the booth. That's what you might hear in the background. Handoff there to Vivi. Tried to the second half. Snap. Mendoza steps up, trying to evade pressure. Gets through one man, spins off another, and dives forward to the 50. Ends up picking up 6 yards there, but that'll still bring up 4th and long. Fourth and 10 here. This end-over-end kick, and man, a big blindside block downfield, and finally down by Erie at the 12-yard line.
Much better from Otziger will put Mead at the 14-yard line.
As well as Erie Spirit. Look forward to that.
We're having a little bit of Wi-Fi issues. I won't comment on that. I'll get myself into trouble. 1st and 10 here for the Mavericks. And near side, a big hole, and uh-oh. Bailey's off to the races. Can a Tiger catch him? Yes, just at the end. Holy cow, that was a long run.
It's one of the longest runs you won't see end in a touchdown. As Grayson Schenbeck able to chase him down and make the shoestring tackle.
I believe that was an 83-yard run. We'll have to figure that one out. We'll have to get out an abacus here and count all those yards. So now Mead knocking at the door. This is what we mentioned. Tigers wanted to keep him off the scoreboard because Mead also gets the ball to start half number 2. Veltine in the shotgun. Gets the snap, hands it back off on the inside, and strong defense there that time. And the official says that they are down short. Mead wanted the touchdown on a pickup there of about a yard from Bailey.
That's the second time from Bailey where his knee's been close to down, and he's kept going forward. This time, the official marked him down.
These Mead running backs, they fight for every inch. 1:45 left to go here in the half. Veltine in the shotgun again, low snap. Flips it forward, touchdown for the Mavericks. That was Jake Wachter. A 1-yard rush, and Mead is on the board. All set up by that long, long run. Good news, left Tigers a little bit of time to maybe get a score here before the end of the half. But the offense has been pretty quiet since that 4th down strike. Snap good, hold, good kick is up and through. And so we're all square at 7. We'll take a timeout here on the ETN.
Protection they deserve. With home and auto insurance. State Farm agents get it. It's why they're here.
In Erie, talk to State Farm agent Jeannie Hulse.
Do you want a better smile, have a broken bracket, or are you a teenager in need of some braces? Then make your way down to Caraway Orthodontics. They are located in Louisville and Erie. Caraway Orthodontics supports Erie High School and its community. Come in and gain a beautiful smile for children, teens, and adults. They also provide Invisalign. Call this number 303-828-0454 or go to carawayortho.com.
And welcome back in. Erie Tiger Network. 7-7 here with 1:36 remaining here in this first half, and a little poocher, and that's dangerous territory. Oh man, Tigers fell asleep back there, and tell you what, Kana pointing to the up man, William Johns, who we've already seen take a big one almost to the house. He just kind of backed up and didn't see it or something, but luckily for the Tigers, it went out of bounds. I'm sorry. So it'll be good field position here for Erie. Erie 48 yards rushing here in this first half, and it's been Mendoza with 10 carries for 24 yards. Vivi also 24 yards. So let's see what the Tigers do. They've only thrown it 4 times. They've completed 1 for 11, 1 for 37, and a touchdown. Might they air it out a little more here?
Jonah Van Landingham at the top of the screen now in motion.
They will run that sweep, and good broken tackle there. Still on his feet for a moment was Van Landingham, and he'll pick up 6 yards.
Did an excellent job evading Trey Ward. Cut back to the inside, made Ward miss.
1:14 remaining here in this half. Tigers being patient. 2nd and 4 here. Mendoza gives it off to Vivi, eludes one tackler, and still on his feet and trying to just move forward, but wave after wave of white jerseys pushed him back, and he only picked up 1. Erie, 45 seconds. Not real urgent here.
We'll even see a very late substitution from Erie.
30 seconds now. Official with his hand up. Time running down here on the play clock. Mendoza keeps himself. Decent little hole. Gets a first down, and now the Tigers maybe will. And Coach Cooper calling a timeout with 18 seconds left. And so that means they'll at least be a little bit aggressive here.
Erie letting a lot of time fall off the clock before that last play.
We have seen in the past out in Durango a couple years ago the hook and ladder, so we know that that's in their arsenal. We haven't really seen a halfback pass this year, but that's certainly in the playbook.
Of course, it's possible we might just see a fade route to the outside. Mead's corners, we've seen him pinch in and play the run a little bit. That's how Schenbeck got open for the touchdown. So
I always like the deep pass to Ladorian. In fact, they should just call it that. Deep pass to Ladorian. All right, here we go. 1st and 10 as the Tigers come out of the huddle.
And Ladorian in single coverage at the bottom of your screen.
Ord, though, good size on him. Mead showing blitz. They will blitz. Mendoza's going to run. He's going to throw the comeback to Havard, but he was well covered, and with 13 seconds left, A second down. Tigers will go back to the drawing board here. I think they were trying to pick up a chunk there, but Ward kind of read the comeback route. And good throw by Gavin. Only Ladorian could get that, but well covered.
Almost a little bit too low for anyone to get, as Mendoza felt a little bit of pressure coming from the backside.
Trips to the near side. Mendoza will hand it off to Vivi, burst through a hole, and Vivi will pick up 7 yards, and that will probably do it here in the half as time runs down. And it will be the half. So 7-7. We've got a ball game here as we head to the second half of play. We'll take a timeout here on the Erie Tigers.
Performance choreographed by the University of Colorado dance team.
I'll shoot him a note a little later tonight. Say, hey, I met Richard. Yep, had to leave him at 7-7. Just came on the score. He's trying to do something new. Yep, we'll have it on there. All right, thanks, sir. You got a punch on that.
Don't get comfortable, look. Ain't too trippin', ain't too trippin', ain't too trippin'. Diamonds on my wrist, they trippin', ice. Ain't too trippin', ain't too trippin', ain't too trippin'. Diamonds on my wrist, they trippin'. That's how we ball out. Got my money, got my money. Who cares how you hate us there? I still got my money. Oh, I still got my money. I still got my money. I still got my money.
Ladies and gentlemen, one more time for the Erie High School Palms team. Folks, as the marching band takes the field, remember after the band plays, we'll have a field goal contest sponsored by Go Airheads Airsoft Field and Store in Erie with $50 gift certificates for airsoft play at Go Airheads Airsoft Field. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the field, the Erie High School Marching Band. Tonight's music selection will be Believer, made famous by Imagine Dragons, Pompeii, made famous by Bastille, and Kung Fu Fighting, made famous by Carl Douglas. drum majors Courtney Hull, Ryan Erickson, and Jacob Witten. Is the band ready for performance?
right, and per request as usual with the viewers, we went ahead and played the live halftime entertainment there for you. Well, welcome back in, Erie Tiger Network, 7-7 here as we're at halftime. Let's take a look at some of these first half numbers brought to you by Miners. For the best place for the post game, head to Miners off Briggs Street. The Tigers, not a whole lot going in terms of yardage. 48 yards through the air, 68 on the ground. It was Gavin Mendoza, 2 for 5 from the air for those 48 yards. On the ground, Mendoza had 11 carries for 30 yards. Mason Vivi with 9 carries for 32 yards. Jonah Van Landingham, 1 carry for 6 yards, 68 yards rushing total. The Tigers one touchdown, a 37-yard touchdown pass was 7:03 remaining. I beg your pardon, 7:03 remaining in that first quarter. You look at the Mead Mavericks. No yards passing. 0 for 3 is Brady Velteen through the air. 150 yards rushing. Jake Wachter only 14 yards on the ground on 6 carries. But Nathan Bailey, he had the one really big play, and he has 115 yards on the ground. Braden Keys, 1 carry for 6 yards. Brady Velteen, 3 carries for 8 yards. And we had one ball carrier that had an 8-yard carry, and we didn't get the number for that, so we have a mystery rusher there, but averaging about 8 yards a carry. If you take away the 84-yard run, only 2.33 yards a carry. So Tigers have done a good job outside that one play, but as Grayson kind of mentioned before the game, the key for this Tiger defense, can't give up big plays. It was one big play that did the Tigers in. That one score was the 1-yard run by Wachter in the second quarter with 1 minute and 36 seconds left, and that is how we got to 7-7. Only one penalty for Mead for 5 yards, a hold on Erie for 10. Pretty clean first half of play. 7-7, it's a tight one. Mead will start with the ball in the second half, but we are going to take a timeout because we are still about 3 minutes away from the start of half number 2. Tiger 7, Mead 7 here on, oh, no, one more thing. Hey, we had highlights. Let's show you those highlights. And potentially only gain 12 yards of field possession unless you can down it inside the 20, or do you just go for it and take a chance? We've seen the long field goal kick. If you could get it to the end zone, that's a touchback and maybe worth the gamble, but not sure Dottavio's got the leg.
This field goal would be from the 50s.
4th and 13. Mendoza to pass. He's going to step up, fires a bomb, has Schenbeck, and connects with him. Big third down here for the Tiger defense. Tigers a little late kind of getting set, but the Mavericks still running fake motion there. See what the Tigers are doing. Almost could have caught them off guard. Here comes the sweep, and oh, beautifully diagnosed by Colby Arlington. 1st and 10 here for the Mavericks. And near side, a big hole, and uh-oh. Bailey's off to the races. Can a Tiger catch him? Yes, just at the end. Holy cow, that was a long run.
It's one of the longest runs you won't see end in a touchdown. As Grayson Schenbeck able to chase him.
All right, those were the first half highlights brought to you by Miners. Now we'll take a break. When we come back, we'll have kickoff here in the second half on the Erie Tiger Network.
For the card-carrying fan, get your CU Visa debit card so you can take the game with you. Free with First National Bank's free checking.
You are watching the ETN.
Click the search bar on the top right-hand corner of the screen and search up Erie Tiger Network. Click the channel icon and then press the subscribe button. Don't forget to hit the bell icon to receive notifications about when we post. Click the thumbs up icon to like the video. To enter full screen mode, press the icon on the bottom right hand corner. To skip forward or backwards 10 seconds, double tap the left or right hand side of the screen. Press the pause button in the middle of the screen to pause the video. To skip to a different video, press the skip button when the video is paused.
Jeff Foxworthy here. You know, if you've ever found yourself repeating the same thing for 75 years, you might be Smokey Bear.
Only you can prevent wildfires.
Well, thing is, there's a lot more to say. Like if you've ever found yourself burning yard debris and then walking away, well, you might be starting a wildfire. So for the love of the outdoors, go to SmokeyBear.com to learn more about wildfire prevention.
Front Range Landfill puts all your needs in front of everything else. Front Range Landfill won Erie Chamber of Commerce Business of the Year Award, as well as being featured on national television. We are very proud of our facility and we welcome the opportunity to address your disposal needs. Our focus is on customer service. We strive to achieve easy and rapid access in and out of the facility. We feel certain that we will exceed your expectations of your solid waste disposal requirements. Choose Front Range Landfill for all your landfill needs. You will be pleased.
Go to where your friends are.
And welcome back in, Erie Tiger Network. Second half here for you, as the Tigers will kick this one off. Saw a pretty good return on the only other kickoff return for Mead, as back teep is Braden Keys and Jake Wachter. A lot of speed back there for the Mavericks. Datavio will send this one, kind of side spinning, taken at the 5. Another good little hole there. Wachter up the sideline, stops, cuts it back in, trying to go across the field, and he is sandwiched at the 39. Felt like almost could have picked up about another 10 yards there, but tried to break it wide open to the near side. And that is where Mead will start their first drive of the second half. So the one big play for Mead, no yards through the air. They only had 67 yards rushing if you take away the one big play, but can't do that. So 1st and 10 for the Mavericks at the 39.
No big plays has been one of our keys off and on for Erie this year. And that was a very big play that they gave up.
They'll hand it off. Ooh, and a slip in the backfield, and that one it works out nicely there for Erie. That was Wachter, and a loss of 3.
Wachter almost looked like he stepped on the side of his foot a little bit as he was trying to cut it upfield.
This time they'll give it on the inside sweep to Bailey, and he gets it back just past the original line of scrimmage. A pickup there for Bailey. Much more success on the ground so far in this one.
And Bailey had a hole to the left side, the bottom of your screen, but he stumbled getting the handoff, and that allowed the Erie front 7 to recover and only allow a gain of 3.
3rd and 9 here. Big play for this Erie defense. Veltine to pass and overshoots his intended target. He was trying to hook up with Jacob Bartholomew, and Veltine is 0 for 4 and a 3 and out for the Erie defense, and a nice start.
And that's exactly what you want to see from the Erie defense to start the second half, much like they started the first, except on Mead's first drive, the 3 and out is forced, and the Mavericks will punt for the first time tonight.
Well, it's been a fun week for Tiger Athletics. The soccer team knocked off number 3 Loveland. The volleyball team knocked off a very highly ranked Mead volleyball team, and a chance for the football team to continue the mojo of the week, if you will.
Soccer, it was number 4 Loveland, Mead. Volleyball, number 3 Mead. Mead ranked 2nd in this week's Chassa poll.
Now we need a number 1 coming up soon.
Holy Family softball next Thursday.
There you go. Can the Tigers go 4-3-2-1? So 1st and 10 here for Erie. Got to take care of number 2 first, though, as the Tiger offense will set to take the field for the first time in this half. As we mentioned, only 68 yards rushing, but 48 yards through the air. And let's see what the Tigers do to adjust here offensively, as Arlington will lead the team out. Ian Vera in there is the H-back. Shotgun here for Mendoza. He's going to run the read. He'll give it to Vivi, trying to get to the edge. Gets around Ward, up the sideline, and good running there by Mason Vivi, as there wasn't a whole lot there, and he had to create a lot of that himself. And it depends on the spot, and they will give it to him. So an 11-yard pickup there for Vivi. Well, give him about 12. That is the longest run of the day for Mason.
And the Erie bench wanted a late hit out of bounds. They didn't get the flag, but the official did pull the player over and say something to him.
Mendoza, he'll run play action. Tigers were looking for a screen. He'll step up, fire downfield, and tried to hook up with Bradford. Mendoza almost fell down in the backfield and kind of lunged forward as he threw that.
That could have cost him, losing his balance there, could have cost him the completion to Bradford. Bradford had a step. The Mead linebacker saw where Mendoza was going to pass, cut back inside a little bit.
10:27 left to go here in the third. 2nd and 10. Mendoza takes a snap, hands it off. Vivi left side, and nowhere to go. In fact, he's going to lose 3 yards. And so now Erie facing 3rd and 13. Vivi tried to jump cut backward, but there was nowhere to go. Mead has been sending edge pressure all night, and that one, the right call at the right time. 3rd and 13, 9:50 left here in this third quarter. And I believe for the first time tonight, Caleb Thyssen is back there. As there's the out route to Bradford, and catches it, gains some of the yardage back, but well shy of a first down there.
And Mead will force a 3-and-out as well.
So 4th down here, and both teams having to punt. Beg your pardon there. Otchinger just gets that away. That was almost blocked. And, well, that's a struggle there without Andrew Piper. A punt for the Tigers of only about 30 yards. Coach Chambers out there in the official's ear trying to say, hey, that's give us a few more yards there.
I think it was a pretty good spot as is.
1st and 10 here for the Mavericks. Beltine in the shotgun. He'll give it on the inside. Man, that completely lost me there in the shuffle. And a 13-yard pickup there for Keys. We have not said his name a ton. Only the 2nd rush of the night for Keys. And a handoff, and that one is swallowed up in the backfield. A loss of 1 to Wachter, and the Tigers have, or to Bailey, I beg your pardon. Tigers have done a good job of bottling him up. We'll actually give him a loss of 2.
Ian Vera in there on the tackle.
Ooh, and jumping that time was Keaton Dennison, a little bit antsy. And after a 2-yard loss, Mead now ahead of the sticks.
Dennison, a younger player, playing on varsity fully this year, didn't get much, if any, meaningful varsity playing time.
A good young player, though. A lot of good young players for the Tigers.
They do, but with an experience does come some penalties that you'd like to have back.
The inside give was initially bottled up and then kind of breaking out into the open field, I believe, was Devin Edwards. That's his first carry tonight.
And that's the first time we've called his name tonight.
Quickly go the Mavericks.
Mead's been without Edwards the last 2 games.
3rd and 1 here. Velteen's going to hand it off, and up the middle Mead goes, and that was really well blocked, and a good pickup on 3rd and 1.
No misdirection there for the Mavericks, just straight power football. And a first down.
Low snap. Velteen throwing the fade, has a man, it's Ward, high points it, catches it, and goes out of bounds inside the 10.
Well, Dorian Havard bit on the play action fake, and it cost Erie there.
31 yards in the air from Velteen to Trey Ward, and that's the first completion of the game for Mead. Now low snap, hand off the other way on the misdirection, and good job initially by the Erie defense, but man, once again, I think that's Bailey just kind of pushing everyone forward.
The whistle not blowing either. I think the Erie defense thought they'd stopped his forward progress.
2nd and goal from the 3.5 or so. Velteen gets the snap, hands it back off on the inside. You know, I'm not sure who has it, but it's a Mead touchdown.
The Erie defense wasn't 100% sure either.
So a Mead touchdown from 3 yards out. I think that was Nathan Bailey. We are bamboozled here in the press box. No idea who scored that. But we'll take a quick timeout here on the Erie Tiger Network.
Go to where the action's at. Go find your sense of adventure. Go Airheads, Airsoft Field and Store located in Erie, Colorado. Go Airheads and go Tigers.
Do you have a plan in for your family's future in the event something happens to you? Are you caring for aging parents, grandparents, or a loved one with special needs? The Germany law firm named 2017 Erie's Chamber Business of the Year provides expert legal guidance and peace of mind for you and your family in the areas of probate, elder law, and estate planning. Visit Germany Law Firm's Erie Village office or website at coelderlaw.net to set up a personalized consultation.
And welcome back in Erie Tiger Network. By the way, we looked but in the timeout, and it was Wachter that had the 3-yard run. So that's who scored the touchdown for the Mavericks. Now they lead it 14-7. And man, the Tigers just couldn't hold there at the end of the first quarter, and the early drive there for me. Now the Tigers will try and hand off on the reverse, and it's fumbled. And now Vivi into a little bit of open space, but finally gets dumped shy of the 20. That did not work out to plan.
Vivi, though, did a good job making something out of nothing. and giving Erie a little bit of breathing room to start the drive.
For a brief moment there, I thought Vivi might have a crease, and it just kind of closed up on him. And to top it off, there is a holding call on Erie. So back the Tigers up.
Looks like there was a flag on that play. The ball moving backwards. Placed at the 5-yard line.
Well, we just delivered a miracle here in the press box. We almost lost our stream, and Grayson Wolf saved the day. So 1st and 10 for the Tigers from their own 5. And now, what do we have here? Another penalty, a delay? A timeout, Erie. And I just don't know why you take a timeout there. I know you don't get the play in, but I mean, worst case scenario is it's 1st and 12 and a half. You save 2.5 yards there with the timeout.
I think Erie only had 10 players on the field as well. Not what you want to see coming off of a kickoff.
No, they fumbled the kickoff. Tigers give up a big pass play, and right now they need something to turn the tide. They're only averaging about 3.5 yards a carry in this game, so just waiting for a big VV run that we have not seen so far. Mendoza takes it. Now will pass. He's going to launch one deep for Schenbeck. Oh, and it hit his hands and he couldn't hold on.
And Schenbeck had a step on the Mead defensive back. The throw by Mendoza, good, maybe a hair long. And I think Schenbeck tried to stutter step to catch that one. Wasn't able to haul it in.
2nd and 10 now for the Tigers. Oh, just off the fingertips of Schenbeck. So he gets pats as he heads to the sideline. Mendoza gives it to Vivi and nowhere to go. And this Mead team has come out of the locker room and they have shut Erie down so far.
Lost one on the play. Brings up 3rd and 11 for Erie.
Vivi 12 carries for 40 yards. And now a 3rd and 11.
I actually think that was Caleb Thyssen that got the carry.
Oh, it looks like maybe they did run Wildcat out there. So there you go. Thyssen with the carry. Now Mendoza back out there. Mead showing pressure again. Plenty of time. Has a man on the post. Just overthrew him. That thing went 50 yards in the air and just overthrew his intended target. That was Jonah Van Landingham that was streaking on the post.
Mendoza was feeling some pressure. Van Landingham was open, but Mendoza rushed the throw by about a half second to get it off before being hit, and that cost Erie a huge play.
So 4th and 11.
A well-timed blitz from Corby Tecu.
4th and 11, and the Tigers, man, you do not want to punt from this end of the field with your backup punter. And they're coming after it. They'll get it away, and just pretty good punt that time as it's down at the 33, but excellent field position coming for Mead. Good job by the Mead rusher, by the way, to avoid the running into the punter penalty.
That was Tech U.
So 1st and 10 here for the Mavericks. And now if you're Erie and you're Coach Mickens, got to find a way. There has not been a turnover tonight, and a big fumble has been a story in this rivalry the last few years. A little reverse on the inside, breaking tackles into the open field, and a touchdown, and just like that, Mead is up by 2 scores. That was Jake Wachter, his longest run of the day.
Wachter broke the tackles of the 2 linebackers, like you said, and no safety help over the middle on the misdirection.
4:57 remaining here in the quarter on that one. That for Wachter, that is his 3rd touchdown of the game. And now the onus is on the Erie offense to produce. And that kick, no good. So, Tigers, you never know. Sometimes it's the missed extra point that'll juice the team up. Tigers need something to go their way.
They most certainly do. And excellent penetration there on that missed extra point. Over half of the Erie rush got through. And Mead's kicker, who's not on their roster, number 2, at least on their printed roster.
No more Kamagaki, as he graduated last year. All right, so Tigers got to dial up something here. We did see a little Mead pooch punt that almost worked out. I'm surprised they didn't go back to that. Little pooch kick, rather, on a kickoff. And we'll see what they do here, as they will send this one deep. Picked up off the turf at the 9. And Vivi saw a ton of white jerseys go. He's still on his feet. Can Vivi finally just buried, and a Tiger down as well. Looked like Vivi might get away from the cavalry, but too many white jerseys bearing down on him.
That was Van Landingham that went down momentarily. He's walking off the field now.
So 1st and 10 for Erie. They had 2 deep passes that were there. Just one not quite held on to, and one just a shade overthrown. So we might see if Coach Toof continues to go to that well, as Mead has not covered the deep pass particularly well tonight.
Something I'd be interested to see if Erie goes to is a pass where Mendoza's throwing it about 15 or 20 yards out, sort of your mid-range pass. His accuracy is very good in that range, and that's just on the fringes of deep, but close enough that Mead hasn't been covering it well.
And the curl route is dropped. And right now, Tigers just out of sync.
That one hit Schenbeck on the number 6. And you always want to catch it with your hands, not with your chest. Schenbeck tried to catch it off his chest.
Mendoza takes a snap. He'll give it to, I believe that's Thyssen in there. And Thyssen will cut up the field and pick up a couple. So 3rd down and 8. This is a big play for this Erie side. 4 minutes, 20 seconds remaining here in the 3rd quarter. Bradford in there. Havard and Kana to the near side. Vivi flanking Mendoza to his right. Mendoza looking to pass. Had a combo route, now being pressured. Flush from the pocket, and he will be sacked.
He had a man open on the corner route. It took too long to develop, and the pressure got there.
And the Tigers sputtering now. They'll head back out to punt. And we've seen Mead get close a couple times here tonight. See if they send pressure again with Otchinger standing at his own 2. Good snap. Here comes the pressure. Does get it away. And toward the sideline. And so Mead will have good field position once again all the way. Oh, good. Well, at the 44 is where Erie will start. Defense needs a stop.
Or a turnover. That's something they haven't done often this year, is force turnovers. A turnover would be huge.
1st and 10 for the Mavericks. Almost feels like Mavericks might try and take a deep shot here. Sweep. Tigers do a good job sealing the edge, and they bury Bailey back for a loss of 3.
26 tackling 26. It was Jake Farling that made the tackle of Bailey by the ankles.
We've heard Jake's name more and more as the year has gone on.
Jake starting in place of Aaron Dixon at linebacker.
Handoff up the middle, and ooh, a big hit right at the line of scrimmage, and that was Keys that got pelted after a gain of 1.
And that was Farling again on the hit.
So 3rd and 12 here. Good start to this defensive series for Erie, but got to cap it off. 2:22 remaining here in the 3rd. Still plenty of time in this game left, but Erie needs to find a spark. Velteen in the shotgun. Tight formation here. A little bit of early movement, no call. A screen set up, and they do get it out of the backfield, and falling down and fortuitously for the Tigers was Nathan Bailey. And a pickup there of about 9 yards on the pass play.
That gives Mead 4th and 3. I think they'll go for it here.
And they will here in kind of high school no man's land. Velteen in the shotgun. Quickly to the line. Tigers crowd trying to get into it. Velteen a little bit of trouble hearing and communicating. Can the Tigers get the stop here on 4th and 3? And they get Colby Arlington to jump. And no flag was thrown. And finally a timeout by Mead. You know, you didn't call the offsides, but then how do you not call the false start when half the team is standing up with their arms raised? I mean, I feel like either way there should be a penalty there. So Coach Klatt wants a timeout. Arlington thought for sure he had an offside as he took a step toward the line, came back and put his hands on his head like, it was me.
The flag was never thrown. The line judge said, nope, didn't quite go over. And it's the double no call.
I think a maybe double missed call on both Erie and then Mead.
It's still 4th and 3, though.
All right, so here we go. 4th and 3. Tigers defense really condensed down. Mead still going to go for it here. They'll run the sweep, and that's going to be right on the down to, or the line to gain, and I think he may just have it. We'll see. They're going to measure. Ooh, that spot is awful close. So they're going to bring out the chain here. See if the Tigers can maybe add a couple links real quick. 1:08 remaining. This is a big moment. And they're going to stretch it out. And, oh, they will give it by the whisker of the football. And honestly, it's impossible to tell up here. And the Tigers down on the field thought it was short. They'll say it just was long enough, just barely.
Reminds me of the note card used in the Sunday night football game last year. It's about that close.
1st and 10 now for Mead. Fresh set of downs. Erie thought they had a stop. Handoff to Keys up the middle. And not much gain. Maybe a yard there did Braden Keys. Keys only in that one carry in the first half. 4 here in the second. Tigers, though, have bottled him up pretty good. 7.1 yards a carry, Mead. That one number was way down till that big one popped for the Mavericks. Now misdirection back this side, and once again, well diagnosed. That was Ian Vera that saw that all the way in a 2-yard pickup for Bailey. So Tiger defense a little more stout here on this series, but still need to get off the field. 11 seconds left. I think Mead might let the quarter run out here. And they will, as Velteen heads back, and time has run out. So at the end of the third quarter, the Tigers trail it by 2 scores. We'll step aside, take a timeout here on the Erie.
You are watching the ETN.
Are you looking to buy or sell a new home? Jen McGurk, an experienced real estate agent serving Erie, Vista Ridge, and the surrounding Denver area. For years, Jen has assisted all types of buyers and sellers with their real estate needs. Give Jen a call today at 303-949-3331 or check out Jen Realty online at jenrealty.com.
Have you ever wanted to support the Erie Tiger Network, the student media arm of Erie High School? Well, now you can. We have set up a Patreon page. There's a way for you to send us a monthly pledge in order to provide funding for the program, as well as get access to reward tiers. As a Tiger fan, you get the satisfaction in knowing you are helping out your favorite local media organization. As a member of the ETN fan club, you are officially recognized on air and can receive ETN goodies throughout the year. As an in-broadcast red sponsor, you get to sponsor a specific segment of any broadcast. For more information, email bird_brandon at sbbsd.org. This is a $25 per month commitment. As an appreciator of Erie's live broadcast with the weekly news, you can help support this program by becoming one of our patrons by going to bit.ly/.
Tiger Network, 3rd and 7, handoff, and a great play by Ian Vera. Just sits the running back right down in the backfield for a loss of 3. That was Wachter, and Ian just shot back there like a cannon, and now it's 4th and 10.
Mead's offense is going to stay on the field, but Vera did a great job making sure that Wachter's knee hit the ground. There's been a few times tonight as Mead goes to a shotgun empty set.
And Velteen being pressured, and he's going to be sacked, and a turnover on downs. And so how about that? 2 positive plays there for the Tigers to start quarter number 4. And now it'll be a Tiger football. Got to find a way to score here if you're the Erie offense.
You have to score, and if you're the offense and you get a good first play, I'd like to see him go with a little bit of tempo.
So 1st and 10 here. From the 34 is where Erie will start. It'll be Mendoza to start things. Low snap. Steps up, fires a high arcing pass. Schenbeck trying to get it, and it's caught out of bounds by Mead. The Mead fans think it's an interception, but that was 2 or 3 yards out of bounds.
Number 35, Kyle Johnson, out of bounds.
Was several yards out of bounds. Mendoza looking for Schenbeck again. Had to step up to avoid the outside pressure from Bartholomew. His throw wobbled a little bit.
Mendoza again, handoff. Vivi trying to stretch out to the right side. Does break contain up the field. He's got a first down and more. Still on his feet as he dives across the 50. And a flag all the way back at the original line of scrimmage. And so this is going to wipe a 17-yard gain off with a holding call here. All the way back at the 34.
The penalties have hurt Erie this season. Mostly pre-snap. Tonight it's been 3 holding calls.
Coach Cooper did not like that holding call.
And that's 27 yards back from where Erie would have been.
We'll bring up 2nd and 20.
Second and 20. That one is a tough pill to swallow there. That was Vivi's longest run of the night. Now Mead sending pressure, picked up. Mendoza steps out of it, steps into a pass down the sideline, and incomplete. Well defended. Trying to come back on that one was, I believe, Dylan Hall, and incomplete.
And Hall also a corner for Erie. Had to play a little bit of defense.
Mendoza 0 for his last 5 now, as we have 3rd and a country mile.
Mead, no players 11 yards beyond the line of scrimmage.
Handoff, sweep, going nowhere fast for the Tigers. A pickup of 2 yards for Kana. And Erie will send out the punt team. On 4th and 18. And they have been behind in the field position game all half. High snap, good catch. It's blocked. Mead picks it up, and they will score. So a block punt for a touchdown by the Mavericks. And you felt like it could come as they've been sending pressure all night, and the high snap maybe just delayed the kick just a split second, and that's all they needed.
I think they marked him down at the half-yard line. I think Otziger made the tackle. And that's what they're going to rule.
Yeah, so first and goal at the 1.
At least a temporary touchdown-saving tackle by Otziger.
Veltine to Keys up the middle, and Veltine gave the assist on the touchdown, and Keys scores, and it's a 3-score game. 9:58 remaining here. And the Tigers had their chances and just couldn't quite capitalize in this second half. And now they are staring a large chasm in the face here in terms of the scoreboard. Mead might go for 2 here after the missed extra point. Nope, they'll still line up to kick the extra point. Veltine is the holder, and what is that, a dummy snap to maybe get the ball closer? The heck happened there? I just looked down for a second and, oh, heck broke loose. Think maybe
running into the holder. Or maybe a jumping over the line call. That's going to be my guess. Is jumping over the line. I think Ian Vera leapt over the long snapper for Mead, because that's right where the flag was at the spot of the ball.
Appears there might be a flag on that extra point.
So they will move this up to, well, they're still spotting it at the 40, but I think we're going to see that change. Well, are we going to see what I've been calling for? But I don't want to see it against Erie. The onside kick after a personal foul after an extra point. Doubtful, but to me it's a no-brainer, Grayson. I'm going to take that to my grave.
15 yards forward. The worst that can happen is it's the same as a kick going out of bounds.
Yeah, I mean, Erie, they recover and they get the ball at the 33. Why wouldn't you do it?
Erie hasn't. Let's hope Mead doesn't here.
Well, it'll never make sense to me, Grayson, ever. I just don't get it. I do not understand. You literally, that was a 13-yard pickup there defensively. I don't get it.
Erie needs offense, though, and they need it now.
Certainly take it as a Tiger fan, but, man, that just giving up an opportunity if you're Mead to get the ball right back. So let's see if Erie can take advantage. 1st and 10 from their own 20. See if the Tigers continue to try and go through the air. Handoff, VV. Decent sized hole, bounces it to the outside, weaving through defenders, and finally gets wrestled to the turf after a pickup of 15. And that is the longest run of the night for Mason VV.
This one not brought back by a flag.
So 1st and 10 here. Another handoff. VV had to kind of sidestep a couple defenders, but gets taken down maybe a half a yard past the original line of scrimmage. And there is an Erie Tiger down and a Mead Maverick down. And with a couple players down on the field, we're going to take a timeout.
gonna let you go. Never gonna let you go. Babe, I'm never gonna let you go. No, no, never gonna let you go.
Here you go.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Never gonna let you go. Never gonna let
And we'll come back in. Tigers on 2nd and 9. They'll hand it off to Thyssen, who will fall his way backward for, or Jonah, no, that was Thyssen. Pickup of a couple. 3rd and 7 here. Colby Arlington was the one that was shaken up on the play for the Tigers. And he's still out of the game here. Mendoza, pressure, steps up. Now bowls over one of his own linemen. Close to the first down and does fall on the other side of the 45.
They'll mark him right there, and that was a great job by Gavin. Pushing forward, his protection collapsed on him from the inside at that center spot where he usually has Arlington.
Arlington is getting his wrist looked at, or hand on the sideline, his right, either forearm, wrist, or hand over there. As the is blown dead for a timeout from Erie. And Colby with the helmet off now. They're taking a look at that. Oh boy. So timeout here. Fans, don't forget to follow us on Twitter at Erie Tiger Media. Like the Erie Tiger Media Facebook page, or follow our new Instagram. Check that out. And we'd love for you to partner with us on Patreon for even as little as $1 a month. Patreon.com/Erie Tiger Network. We feel like there will still be playoff rights, even if the Tigers do fall to 2 and 3. The good news is you win your league and you're in, and the Tigers still probably one of the better teams in their league. Tell you what, that game against Roosevelt will be a big-time showdown with playoff implications for both teams.
The benefit, too, of playing several top 10 teams in Pueblo South, Mead, Frederick, those are big RPI boosters come the end of the season.
Vivi, the lone back, he's going to stretch it out to the sideline, cuts it up, has a hole across the 40, stiff arms, and finally gets thrown out of bounds down to the 34. A 22-yard pickup there, or 21-yard pickup for Mason Vivi. He's got 77. Tigers have had a little more success running on the edges here in this quarter. 7:42 remaining. Erie really needs a score quickly, though. Vivi from the Wildcat takes the high snap, fakes like he's going to run. He's going to launch deep, throws a high arcing spiral. It's caught for a touchdown. Grayson Schenbeck on the pass from who else? Mason Vivi. 34-yard strike. And Mason Vivi, who knew he could spin one like that?
A perfect throw from Vivi.
How about that camera angle right there, too?
Schenbeck adjusted. Held on to it this time. And the Erie sideline has life again.
Second touchdown of the night for Schenbeck, as that one is blocked. And so, still 2 scores. We'll step aside, take a quick timeout here on the Erie Tiger Network.
This is more than a bundle. It's more than a combo deal. It's not just stuff. This is your home, your car. And you want to give them the protection they deserve. With home and auto insurance. State Farm agents get it. It's why they're here.
In Erie, talk to State Farm agent Jeannie Hulse.
Do you want a better smile, have a broken bracket, or are you a teenager in need of some braces? Then make your way down to Caraway Orthodontics. They are located in Louisville and Erie. Caraway Orthodontics supports Erie High School and its community. Come in and gain a beautiful smile for children, teens, and adults. They also provide Invisalign. Call this number 303-828-0454 or go to carawayortho.com.
And welcome back in, Erie Tiger Network. Mead ready for an onside. Tell you what, there is literally 34 yards of space to try and fit the ball in and maybe track it down. Tigers are lining up like it's an onside. They will bounce it. A high hop, and Veltine is the one that comes down with it, and he gets pelted by Vera, and then a Mead Maverick literally drags Vera for 3 yards on the turf. No penalties either way. That was Bryce Schmidt that literally just picked up Vera and slid him, and luckily he had Maverick teammates that said, hey man, just let it go.
And personally, I'm not a huge fan of that call when you have that much empty space and Mead's playing it that tightly.
Not a bad little hop, though. That's what you want, the hop. And Veltine, a good job to pick up that one. 1st and 10 for the Mavericks at the 50. They will give it on the outside sweep. Big hole, and who? The turf monster got to Wachter that time.
Havard was there, forced him to cut back in as he was playing it up the field. Wachter tripped as he cut.
So 1st and 10 from the 36 for Mead. Clock stopped as they set the chains. Should be running, actually. And the Mead team, and they finally get the clock running.
Veltine turned around and started signaling for it to run.
Never really seen that from a high school quarterback as Veltine gets wrestled to the turf from Vera. Tell you what, you do not want to run into the teeth of Ian Vera tonight. And there's a flag. And I'm not sure who that's on. Unsportsmanlike on Mead.
They're calling for a trainer. I don't know if that was actually a fan or a coach. It will stop the clock.
And that's going to back Mead up 15 yards. So a good spot here for the Erie defense as that came after the play too. So a little loss of down.
The ball moved to the 49-yard line of the Tigers.
2nd and very long.
Yeah, Tigers needed that. Ball back to the 49, so almost the original line of scrimmage on this drive for Mead. Vera was showing blitz as Bailey was in motion. They will give it off on the inside, and good little hesitation there. Kind of waited for the first wave of defenders before, what was that, Wachter, or no, that on that time it was Eli Mackey on the carry. At least I believe that's who it was, for a pickup of 3 yards.
Mackey. Gonna speculate that he's related to Nathan Mackey in some way.
Hard to tell. That might have been Bailey, too. Handoff to Bailey on the end. Runs into his own defender, and Erie did the one thing you couldn't. Give up a big play in that situation, and a 46-yard touchdown for Nathan Bailey. And 2 huge runs for Bailey. He's got 165 yards. Oh, beg your pardon, that was Jake Wachter. That's his 4th touchdown of the game.
And split the Erie defense. The extra point is good.
So with 5:51 left to go here in the 4th quarter, Mead back on top by 3 scores. We'll take another quick break here on the... And welcome back in, Erie Tiger Network. After the long touchdown run by the Mavericks, 5:51 remaining, and they are firmly in control of this one now. It felt like Tigers got the unsportsmanlike, as there's a good return by Kana out to the 37. Felt like after the unsportsmanlike, Tigers were going to be able to get off the field. It was 2nd and a mile. And now things starting to get a little chippy out there. Saw a couple players jawing at each other. We just saw an unsportsmanlike conduct. Like to see both teams keep a cool head here as Erie will start from the 38. So they'll finally spot the ball. Tigers last time it was Mason Vivi. His first pass of the year goes for a touchdown on a good ball adjustment by Schenbeck. Now Mendoza in the pocket, almost raked from behind, and a loss of 4 on the play there.
That was Bartholomew, I believe, for me. Jacob Bartholomew with the sack. He's been getting pressure off the edge. The near edge for you now for most of the night.
Mendoza will give it to VV. He'll bounce it to the outside, and VV will get hog-tied down as he gets close to the original line of scrimmage. A 3-yard pickup for Mason. He's got 80 yards rushing tonight. Now 3rd and 11. See Colby Arlington, by the way, still on the bench without a helmet. You just hope that he's okay, as he's a linchpin in that Tigers O-line and D-line this year. 3-year starter at center. Mendoza fakes the screen, looking, has a man breaking deep. It's Van Landingham, just underthrown, and it was broken up as Van Landingham was open down the sideline. And just a little too much air under that one.
Again, the pressure in Mendoza's face. The throw wobbling a little bit as Bartholomew was closing in.
So 4th and 11 here for Tigers. They will punt. Their last punt was blocked. Mead playing a little more of a kind of a prevent the fake alignment. This one will sputter out at the 35. Now Mead just wants to consume some clock here. There are whistles coming in all over the place. I don't see any laundry on the field.
Only 4 minutes left in this one. Was there a penalty called? I see the official motioning.
The official was signaling. The penalty was at the 40. So this is going to move. I didn't actually see what the official signaled.
I just saw that he pointed at Mead.
Okay, so a hold, I think, on Mead. And so back him up to the 25. And a broken play there, and Veltine will lose a yard. Tigers will be back at it for their homecoming game next week against Northridge in their first conference game of the year.
After the home game with Northridge, Erie will be traveling until November.
Just a brutal non-conference slate for Erie. The one team that not very strong on that, it was Canyon City last week, 0-4, but heck, when that was on the schedule, you thought, man, that could be something. But Canyon City still pretty young out there, talented but young squad.
That is a very young team in Canyon City. And that league, the 3A Southern, I believe, is the one it is with Harrison. It's better than all the rest. Canyon City should pick up several league wins.
So home against Northridge. They're currently 3-1. Then they'll go out to Niwot. They're 3-1. That's good news that the conference opponents winning non-conference games. Roosevelt only 1-3, but they have had a tough road. As we said, that game could be the big-time game in this league. They lost to Holy Family by a touchdown. They lost to this Mead team by a very similar score, 34-21, actually. They lost to Discovery Canyon, who's one of the top teams, 35-21, but they knocked off Pueblo East, who's a traditional power, who's struggling this year, 38-21. So then they'll finish with 2 home games against Thompson Valley and Fort Morgan. Fort Morgan kind of struggling this year after losing several good seniors last year. As I said, the RPI for Erie should be pretty good by the end of the year. You kind of look at their schedule and go, well, I know they're 2-3 right now, but they'll probably still finish with 6 or 7 wins. Handoff around the end. Big hole. And Bailey still on his feet. Hard to bring down. Or excuse me, Wachter again. Both fast, tough runners. Very talented backfield, this Mead Maverick team. And you can see why they're the second-ranked team in 3A. Erie, though, they were right with them there through the first half. Just couldn't quite make the same adjustments that this experienced Maverick team did in the locker room. 2:44 remaining here in this game. And a delay a game here on the Mavericks. They're just trying to milk up every tick of this clock.
Delay game called on Mead. Ball moved back to the Mead 49-yard line.
Coach Cooper has come over to sit on the bench, put his arm around Colby and ask him if he's doing okay. Tell you what, Colby is a tough kid. He has to be legitimately injured if he's not going back in the game. And you can see a big ice wrap on his right wrist. Man, that is a big piece of this Tiger front on both sides, and that's not a good sign.
It is not. You hope, obviously, that nothing's broken. If something is broken, it affects Colby offensively if he can't get a hard shell cast because he's the center, and that's his snapping hand. So the center position is going to be something that Erie will have to take a look at. Erie depleted a little bit by injuries. Aaron Dixon, Andrew Piper, now Colby Arlington.
Braden Rao also lost for a significant portion of the season as there's a broken play. 1:42 remaining. They'll bounce back. I know Tiger faithful got a little spoiled the last couple years with deep runs into the playoffs. Back-to-back Final Four runs or semifinal game runs, including the state championship loss to Palmer Ridge a couple years ago. That makes you hungry to keep winning, and Tigers lost a lot. I mean, think about the number of players as that snap is wayward and picked up by Bailey all the way back at the 35. But guys that are playing college football from that team. You have Noah Roper out at Dartmouth, obviously, but Spencer Brooks, he's playing college football. Caleb Furman is playing college football. Nathan Hackney is playing college football. Jamie Nelms is playing college football. So you have 5 college-worthy players on that team from just the senior class, and I might be missing, I don't know, 1 or 2.
Tyler Gardner's playing college lacrosse.
That's right. So it's a very good squad of seniors last year that graduated, and so the Tigers have to kind of redevelop here. But a lot of good youngsters as these Tiger seniors as well trying to step up. And plenty of time left to right the ship still this season, so not all is lost as there's 5 seconds left. We'll have one more play in this game. Overall, though, you look back, you think, well, what happened this game? Tigers had the 7-0 lead early. They gave up a touchdown with about a minute and a half left. In fact, the touchdown for Mead in the first half came with 1:36 remaining in the second quarter. And we at the time said you don't want to give up the late touchdown because you give the ball right back to Mead to start the second half. Tigers did force the 3-and-out, but then they went 3-and-out, and Mead scored, and you kind of felt then like, uh-oh, Tigers might have things slipping away from them here, and unfortunately they did, and they never really recovered from that. 2-yard run by Thyssen will end this game. And the Tigers fall by a final score of 34-13. That'll do it here for us on the Erie Tiger Network on a Thursday night football edition. Special thanks to Logan Anima up on top of the press box. We had Danae Shara down there on the sideline. Colin, he was our man here learning the ropes, learning how to produce, as Grayson Wolf was our producer here tonight. And as always, Grayson Blaylock joining us up here in the broadcast booth calling color. For all of them, I'm Brandon Bird. Thank you so much for tuning in. And until next time, Tiger fans, I'll chirp at you later.